today we're talking about it in the context of health anxiety. Okay, now I'm going to get into the first type of mind that we walk around with on a daily basis if we suffer from health anxiety, and that mind is what's called the emotional mind. The emotional mind is very instinctual, reactive in nature. So with health anxiety sufferers, you'll notice that they get a twinge here, or they get a thought up here, or they get a zap over here, and right away they'll start to question what it means. And they'll never ever take the time to listen to the opposing voice that says that it could just be a twinge or a zap or something like that. So you can see how the emotional mind runs the show if you're a health anxiety sufferer, because it's very emotional, it's very instinctual. Okay? Now the emotional mind tends to manifest because of things that happened way back when. In our days of growing up, our authority figures, mom, dad, were also very highly emotional. Or we had many emotionally traumatic experiences in our lives. So the emotional mind is something where we need to get out of, okay, if we're in fact going to overcome health anxiety, number one, and to get to a place where we're more self-mastered in our minds, our beliefs, our words, our behaviors, those sorts of things. Because self-mastery is the goal. And we cannot become self-mastered if we're always jumping to the worst possible conclusion every single time someone looks at us, or every single time we feel something, or every single time we're invited to some kind of a dinner or something like that. We start to think, how am I going to handle it? Emotional mind.
You could make a case that outside of God or nature, that the human imagination is the most powerful force on earth. And the thing is, very few of us have ever really been taught how to use it. Worry is a function of imagination. If you didn't have an imagination, you wouldn't be worried. Rather than taking the imagination out, what we want to do is learn how to use it better. And then anxiety also overlaps with worry and stress. They're all a little bit different, and they're very interrelated. They share in a lot of different kinds of ways. The reason this is important is because our consciousness and our ability to become self-conscious is potentially the greatest tool that we have for improving our lives. And it also, if we don't know how to use it, can be something that can make our life miserable. So I like this Ashley brilliant quote, due to circumstances beyond my control, I am master of my fate and captain of my soul. So you're it. If you want to do something about your anxiety, your stress, the way that you think, the way that you create your life, you are the captain whether you like it or not. But it seems to me that worry is a type of thinking. Okay, and our friend here, Ziggy, says, the figments of my imagination are out to get me. The most common unconscious use of the imagination is to drive ourselves crazy or worry ourselves sick. So the bar is set pretty low. That's the good news. We can learn to use it more on purpose and do better than that. Your brain is an incredible organ. Your mind has something to do with it. And at least in certain circumstances, your mind can learn to use your brain in better ways. Worry can serve kind of a magical function. There's a magical unconscious function of worry, a couple of them actually. So one is that most things that you worry about never happen.
Okay, because there are times where we need to become emotional to get the job done or to get through to someone. And there's times where we need to be more reasonable in our approach and our reactions to things to get to a place where we're much more neutral in situations where we're getting anxious. So a wise mind is where you're more peaceful and more pleasurable when it comes to your participation in life. Think about it like this. You're walking down the street and you're taking care of a chariot, okay? And on one side, there's the black horse, and on the other side, there's the white horse, okay? Now, your job as a health anxiety sufferer is to make sure that you direct both horses in the right direction, because one horse will want to veer right, another horse will want to veer left. Think about it like that. That's your reasonable mind, and that's your emotional mind. Your job is to find the balance between the two and guide both of them in the right direction. To ask yourself, what do I need right now? What is the best reaction or approach in this situation? Now ask yourself this question today, my friends, as I leave you with this video. What steps can I start taking today to develop the growth of my wise mind? What steps can I start taking today to develop the growth of my wise mind? Take this video, run with it, and I promise you that in a short amount of time, you will become wiser in your thinking and your approach to all of this that's going on in your life, and you will take this health anxiety journey, and in a short amount of time, you will mold and create the type of person that you are meant to be to give back to the world in some productive, awesome way, okay? So anxiety is the best and worst thing that's ever happened to you. I promise you, even if you don't see it right now.